Now it's time to talk about group by, aggregate functions, and having. Group by is essentially, as the name describes, it's grouping results together. As an example, if I wanted to select the industry from an account or from the account object, and I wanted to group by that industry. So let's go select industry from account, group by industry. And as I can see here, I have 10 different rows, and it's showing all the different industries, and it's grouping all of them together. You can add other fields within the select. However, not all of the fields can be added in the select. As an example, if I put ID, this is going to error. These have to be fields that can be aggregated or grouped together. And so ID is going to be unique to every single record, so there is no way of aggregating that together. However, you can use aggregate functions in order to aggregate that together. There is a function called count. So if I did count, and the syntax is, if I do count, and then I can put in the field name to count, and then it's still going to count based on the group by of the industry. So when I run that, I know that there are now 24 blank industry records, 1 for apparel, 3 for energy, and there's other aggregate functions as well, such as there is average. So I can do select average amount from account. So it'd be average, and just like the count, I put in the name of the field that I want to average from opportunity. I think I may have said account, but it's opportunity. And then I can see what the average amount is based on all the opportunity records. And then there is a count and a count field name. The count field name, just like I showed before in the group by, you get to select the field that you want to count that based on whatever you're grouping by. And then as a count, I can just show that count with empty, so no field. It's just going to return the count for the number. Let's say for whatever reason you needed to run a query and find out what that number of records are. You can also put it in where clauses as well to get the number of records based on that where clause. I can do count distinct, and so what this is, it is going to close to what the group by industry showed, where it showed all of the industry values. The count distinct is not going to do, it's going to return the number of unique and non-null values. So select count distinct. Gotta put in, we'll do name. Industry from account, group by industry. And we can see here within, I can't add name because that's not going to work, but I can see that within the account there is 9 new unique names for blank industry, 3 for energy, instead of 24. That was the biggest indicator within here. Name is probably not the best one because name can't be null, but it is distinct or unique. So if we were grouping by something else aside from industry and put in industry, because you cannot have the industry in the distinct count, so whatever you're grouping by can't be in this count distinct, but it would take away all the null values from the count. There's also min, max, and sum. So those ones, just like how they sound, it's going to get you the min value, the max value. So we'll try this on the opportunities amount field. So min amount, max, amount, and then the sum of all the amounts. We can throw in the average again from opportunity. And just to show that we can put in where clauses as well, we'll do where they have to be closed. So is closed is equal to true. And as we can see, the minimum for the closed ones is 30,000. Max is 915,000. We have the sum and the average for all of them that are closed. The next clause that we're going to talk through is called having. And so what having does is the having can only be used when you do a group by. So if you try to do a having without a group by, it's not going to work. It needs to be using that with the aggregate. So just as an example, we'll go back to using the account. So we can select the account ID, the industry, or the count of IDs from account, the industry, grouping it by the industry, and then doing a having with the count of ID being greater than 1. So select count ID. Industry from account, group by industry, having count, and the count of IDs have to be greater than 1. Oh, I had that already ran. So we can see here that the industry is, the null one has 24 for the count, the energy has 3. All the other ones, if we remember from beforehand, they all had 1 for their count for the number IDs. Now I can also add in, let's do if where, we'll do name, Wayne Manor, and then I have 5. So I can put in a where clauses as well with the group by and the having, and then that's going to filter out even more refined than what we currently have. And that's how we get to the aggregate functions, the group by, those other functions, and having.